So Maggie and Latesha have court in January. I think January 20th or 21st. They have a trial. So with this trial, they actually have to. Maggie is going to appear on Zoom, and Latesha is going to probably be in person. I don't know if she's going to be Zoom or in person, but they can also submit evidence before the actual case. So why, ladies and gentlemen, did Maggie tell the judge in this lawsuit that Lady Latesha is the cause of her channel being terminated? So on one part right here, she's saying causing multiple videos to be removed, interrupting plaintiff's income and placing her channel at risk of termination. Number one, Lady Latesha never put those 7 strikes on your channel. So you're lying right there. And in your actual evidence, you only show that she did 1 strike on your channel. And you don't have no loss of videos totaling $10,000. And the evidence you submitted of income was from your old channel. Like you submitted evidence from your old channel claiming that it's from your new channel. Your new channel is not making money like that. Right here she says plaintiff is not self-employed because defendant's fraudulent conduct eliminated her income. Defendant claims plaintiff is a self-employed creator with recurring income. This is wrong. Plaintiff's income stopped. Maggie, your income has not stopped. You literally have videos on your channel as of recently, even yesterday, getting monetization, getting super stickers. It's already screenshotted and recorded. Even yesterday, you have income. All throughout this time, you have had income because you monetized your new channel. Your income has not stopped.
Me and Lady Latesha, we have the date for the jury trial that we're gonna get. As you can see, I can come virtually. Plaintiff Madgie Germain submit this response in opposition to defendant Latesha Murray motion to dismiss. And I want to say, the day after the judge was like, okay, we're going to trial. Defendant mischaracterized this case as a copyright dispute. It's not a copyright dispute. You committed fraud. To do the copyright thing, I would need to go federal, and that would cost so much money and be so long. This case has a copyright dispute and raise allegation unrelated to the cause of action pleaded. Her talking about cyberbullying, harassment, invasion of privacy, it has nothing to fucking do with anything. This is not a copyright case. It is a fraud case. You committed fraud.
You says plaintiff's income stopped because defendant filed 7 fraudulent copyright strikes, more than twice the number required to terminate or demonetize the channel. Plaintiff accurately reported having no income at the time of filing. No, at the time of filing, you had a monetized channel. And she did not have your income stopped because of those 7 fraudulent copyright, because you're talking about your old channel. So let me actually explain what's going on here. Maggie is trying to sue Lady Latesha for her channel being terminated, the previous channel. And she's trying to act like it's because of some new channel. But she's messing up in her own lawsuit. You know why? Because on the first part of her lawsuit, she says it almost causes her channel to be terminated and she's losing income. And then the other parts, she says that her channel was terminated and then she lost income. You know what I'm saying? She's mixing things up. So I'm going to explain it to you, because when someone is lying, it's going to be confusing. So don't worry, I'm going to explain to you exactly what she's doing. In a short sentence, I will say she's trying to re-argue her channel termination by trying to bring it to a different courtroom and bringing Lady Latesha to court for something that I've done in a different channel termination. So she's trying to act like her loss of income is because of Lady Latesha, when it was actually because of me on her main channel. Okay? So she's trying to confuse things so she can try to re-argue. And by that is, if you lose your channel and YouTube takes it down, you lose your money and YouTube says they're not going to put it back up and there's nothing left for you to do, so then now you're going to try to sue Lady Latesha and then pretend like she caused your channel to be terminated so you could try to re-argue the same thing that was already closed down. Okay? So it's re-litigating something.
Plaintiff alleged that defendant knowingly submitted false copyright ownership statement to YouTube from within the state of Texas, causing multiple videos to be removed, interrupting plaintiff income, and placing her channel at risk of termination. Defendant on filing confirmed the falsity. She claimed ownership of an audio track titled Lady Latesha Smooth Jam, and less than 24 hours later, a separate individual, Dani Robertson, filed a conflicting DMCA claim asserting ownership of the exact same audio. Two different people cannot own the same work. That's how much Dani don't give one fuck, okay, about Lady Latesha. For her to strike me for the same song 24 hours later, she don't give one fuck about Lady Latesha. Just that was enough to prove my fraud case. It was enough.
And by the way, Latesha can countersue, and by countersue, and by the way, I'm not gonna say everything that's gonna happen. So I can tell y'all some things, I can't tell y'all everything because obviously Latesha's gonna countersue her for other things. Since she already has her in court, she might as well counterclaim and countersue her for actual real harm and damages. Right here, she says 2 different people cannot claim exclusive copyright ownership of the same work. This contradiction proves that at least one claim, and likely both, was knowingly false. That's where you can actually be wrong. More than one person can own a copyright. I'm not going to educate you, but you're stupid right there if you think that more than one person can own something. That's stupid right there, okay? And by the way, she used chat. She's talking about ChatGPT. This document is nothing but 100% ChatGPT, even from the structure, the foundation, and the formatting. It's clearly ChatGPT or AI-generated content.
That is the order overruling defendant Dani Robertson objection. So this is the judge going objection by objection and destroying Dani. Where you see here the judge insulting Dani here because she keeps on using ChatGPT. As the AI software offer a tempting tool to offset the disadvantage in appearing in a familiar court. So they cannot provide erroneous and factitious citation. And Dani apologized.
Okay. So can we bring up, the next contender?
ChatGPT.
Well, hold on. Okay, so you brought that up. Can you bring up the lawyer impersonator?
And she keeps on saying AI generated and not understanding that a song called Lady Latesha that's literally saying Lady Latesha had to be written by a human. Okay, so so it's actually human authorship. Okay, so she's dumb. It's not a complete AI song. So she doesn't even understand AI, how AI works. Can someone copyright an AI song? Yes, if they author any portion of it, and they can copyright what they author.
Plaintiff has repeatedly posted video about defendant on YouTube. This is a fraud case. What does any of this have to do? Including monetized live stream, and has used defendant online username, Lady Latesha, entitled, thumbnail, and commentary. Plaintiff contacted defendant directly. I bet ChatGPT told you that was a really smart thing to write. And her continued online targeting escalated into harassment toward defendant and her family. What does that have to do with fraud? What does any of this have to do with fraud? Oh yeah, nothing. Plaintiff also stated that she knew where defender minor child attends school. What does any of this have to do with fraud? A concerning escalation demonstrating motive for harassment and abuse of process. This is stupid. Defendant filed a police report regarding plaintiff conduct, but due to plaintiff Canadian residency, enforcement has been limited. What? Officer Brendan couldn't save Lady Latesha? Lady Latesha. Like, really? How boring. The background music at issue, Lady Latesha Smooth Jam, is a personalized audio track created specifically for defendant YouTube channel. She's so dumb. And include defendant name. Repeated through the audio, it's Lady Latesha. Defendant is the owner of this track. No, you're not. And she used the DMCA process in good faith. No. You know you don't own the shit. Or maybe she does believe so. No, you don't own the shit. Process in good faith to address content containing her own branding and channel music. It ain't yours. It's not yours. It's not Dani's. This lawsuit is therefore not a legitimate dispute regarding copyright ownership. The dispute is not about copyright ownership. It's about fraud. Fraud. But rather a retaliatory and harassing filing arising from plaintiff's ongoing pattern of online targeting, commentary, and attack towards defendant.
Okay, so if I dare anyone to use any of my songs that I wrote because I will strike you because I wrote the song and it's my lyrics. I can strike you just because you're using my lyrics. Okay, lyrics can be 3 words. It can be a whole poem or a whole, 6 verses, 3 verses, 4 verses. Lyrics are lyrics. When someone writes lyrics or poetry or anything or even a book, if you say that someone doesn't own their lyrics, you're telling someone they don't own their own book. Because books are what? Written words. You tell people they don't own a poem that they wrote. A poem is the same thing as lyrics, mostly. Okay, it's written material that you own. As soon as someone writes anything, they own what they wrote, especially if it's any sort of originality to it. Okay, so with that being said, no one can tell any person out there that writes any types of songs that that's not their song if they spent time writing it up. I don't care if it's 3 words or 100 words or 300 words or 600 characters. That person still wrote it. It belongs to them at that moment, at the moment of creation. So a song that literally says it's Latesha, Latesha, her channel name is clearly written for her channel. So nobody can say that that's not her song when it's literally her channel name being said throughout it. Okay. Yeah.
There. Defendant claimed under penalty of perjury, like an idiot, that she owned an audio track titled Lady Latesha Smooth Jams. This representation was false because defendant did not create the track. The track is AI generated. You cannot own AI generated audio. You cannot. It's an abuse of the copyright system. That should try to put you into the idea of what is my next plan for Dani. The track is AI generated and not copyright protectable. It's not even possible. A second individual, Dani Robertson, filed a DMCA claim asserting ownership of the exact same track less than 24 hours later. That was terrible for Lady Latesha. Again, showing how much you don't give a fuck. I cared more about Lady Latesha and I was like, stop doing that. It's stupid. Do stupid shit, win stupid prize. 2 different people cannot own the same work. These conflicting claims shows that defendant's statement was materially false. Defendant knew the representation was false or acted with reckless disregard. Defendant asserted ownership without any evidence of authorship, copyright registration, or source file. The immediate contradictory claims submitted by Robertson, paired with evidence that both individuals understood how copyright registration works, demonstrate that defendant acted knowingly or at minimum with reckless disregard for the truth.
Once you author anything, that's the AI portion you cannot claim, but the rest of it that's human authored or human generated or human edited or human worked, that part is belonging to you. So someone can claim AI, the portions that belong to them, okay? And that will be the actual song. So she doesn't understand copyright, but she's making this whole lawsuit thinking that she understands copyright. And what she's hoping for is that Lady Latesha doesn't understand copyright, so then she can try to sue Lady Latesha, and then, lie to the judge and confuse things. And that's why Lady Latesha, of course, has to just be prepared to deal with the liar. I deal with liars all the time, narcissists, sociopaths, and different people that try to deflect and gaslight and make up games and play games like this. I deal with it all the time, so I know how to handle people. Even when Val came on my panel saying certain things, I was able to call her out and redirect and refocus and keep the focus. Okay. What MAGA does is whenever she brings anyone on her channel, like Queen Tulsa or even, let's say, Lady Latesha, she always brings up my name and tries to argue about me. And I told Lady Latesha a million times, listen, if the moment she starts bringing up Dani, just drop down, because you cannot argue with MAGA about me. The only person that can argue with MAGA about me is me. She only wants to bring up Latesha or someone else because she knows they cannot talk for me or speak for me or argue based on what my actions and my conduct. So they're oblivious. They don't understand. They don't know what to say because they're not me. So anyone that she brings up, she's talking about me, drop down. You can do what you want, but it's best to drop down because you cannot defend me or argue for me or explain things for me because you're not me. She says, for Queen Talk, I mean, not Queen Talk, but Latesha says, if defendant did not own the audio or if the track is uncopyrightable, then her DMCA filings contain false statements made knowingly or with reckless disregard. No, a DMCA in good faith is if you have exclusive rights over the actual song or copyright, whatever you're claiming. And she does have rights over Latesha, which she will explain in court. So that was in good faith.
Defendant made the false representation with intent to cause harm. A DMCA strike is not accidental. Filing one requires. I kept on telling her, I was like, yo, you're committing fraud. It's fraud what you're doing. And OJ Patrice is also committing fraud. Jesus Christ. And not for the same reason, because they think I'm stupid. OJ Patrice used a selfie, which means that she has ownership of the picture, but then she submitted the lawsuit of Dani as proof for her own copyright, which makes no sense. It's fraud. You're just trying to fuck up with YouTube's system. 1, 2. The fact that Dani paid for it is fraud because you're interfering with my ability to make a living. I hope OJ Patrice comes to her senses, but I don't think so. I think there is something that just happened in people's brain when they're close to Dani, like stupidity just suddenly like falls on. I was like, Dani don't give a fuck. And the moment she did the 24, I was like, oh yeah, she don't care. She don't give a fuck. I hope it was worth the 10K that you're gonna give me. I hope it was worth it. DMCA strike is not accidental. Filing one requires sworn statement. No, OJ did not sell her picture to Dani. OJ Patrice struck me. She's the one who struck me, and Dani also struck me. So Dani offered $200 to strike my channel, not to get the picture, to strike my channel. So already that illegal. After that, when I showed that I was winning for the counter claim, she sent as proof of legal action the lawsuit of Dani. That's illegal. You're deliberately lying. It's bad. It's fraud. But they never believe me. I'm like, you're committing fraud. Why are you committing fraud for her? Like, if Dani paid her $200, she's gonna need to pay me $2,500. I hope it's worth it. I hope it's worth it. It's fraud. I keep on telling, I'm like, it's fraud. Do you not see it's fraud? A DMCA strike is not accidental. Filing one requires sworn statement, multiple confirmation, express not acknowledgement of legal consequences. So oopsie doopsie is not gonna be able to save her. Defendant knew each strike will remove plaintiff video, disrupt monetization, and push her channel toward termination. The close timing and coordination with Robertson further support an interference of deliberate intent. Plaintiff suffered damage as a direct result. YouTube removal notice confirmed the following: loss of video and visibility, interrupted monetization, reduction in revenue, and significant risk to the continued operation of plaintiff's channel. These are direct and foreseeable harms caused by defendant's false statement. Plaintiff has pleaded specific, Elorina, facts establishing each element of fraud: false representation, knowledge, intent, and damages. These allegations are more than sufficient to state a valid claim under Texas law. The judge agreed. That's why nothing was dismissed, and literally, we're going to trial.
She said this case is not about online disputes. It's about defendant's false statements. Defendant attempts to shift attention to unrelated online interactions, commentary, or personal accusations. These issues have no relevance to whether defendant falsely claimed copyright ownership, submitted multiple fraudulent DMCs. Now, you only show one that Lady Latesha did. The rest of the things you're showing is saying my name on it. So therefore, I should be the one that you're suing, not Lady Latesha. And that's what Lady Latesha is going to point out, that you're actually suing the wrong person, and you're trying to relitigate an old issue or an unrelated issue. The truth of the matter is, Lady Latesha has nothing to do with any of your loss of income. The person you should actually suing is me if you have an argument. Oh, I forgot, I'm the one that sued you, and then you the one that was supposed to have responded, right? But you said you responded and you didn't never submit it.
Remember the time? Okay, so yeah, remember when Dani wanted to sue me, but she didn't really want to sue me. She just wanted to take my channel illegally. And so she created a bogus lawsuit. Before she dropped it, the day before, which is what made her drop the lawsuit, I showed my first draft of my response to her lawsuit. So I'm like, oh, so what they're showing, why it has Dani's number, is because it was a response to her lawsuit. So obviously it had Dani's number on it. So I was reading my draft with you guys, and then the next day she dismissed her case. So do you remember that I read like something that I was explaining the case? I was reading her lawsuit. I was reading my own like response. I had started doing a response, and yes, it had the case numbers on it because I was responding to the case number of her. So guys, do you remember when she wanted to sue me? I wanted to answer her, and then she dropped the lawsuit literally the next day. That is what they're talking about. That is the famous scam. My response to Dani's lawsuit that she dropped the day after. Now, is she gonna say why she dropped the lawsuit the day after? Does it mean now that we can have all the answer that we want? So now we're back to talk about like that lawsuit.
She's trying to accuse Lady Latesha of something I did, and she's trying to lie to the judge, and like Lady Latesha caused a loss of income when it was my video removals that caused her loss of income, not Lady Latesha. But everything dealing with Lady Latesha, she wants to bring up my name because she wants to go to court with Lady Latesha and argue about me.
Grounds for dismissal. Didn't work. A failure to state a claim. Plaintiff petition, Exhibit A, contents. No legal cause of action, no dates, no exhibits, no description of damages, no allegation of any Texas-based act. You are the Texas-based act. You are. And the small claim in Texas is like, I think it's maximum 20K. And I was like, this is too much. Lack of subject matter jurisdiction. This case is based solely on disputes arising from a federal copyright statute. No, I'm suing you for fraud. An international online dispute involving a Canadian resident. I pay taxes in America. Texas small claim court lacked jurisdiction over federal copyright matters. Well, clearly, the Texas state court did not agree because we're going to court, bitch. Lack of personal jurisdiction over plaintiff claim. I hope she stops saying that because, like I said, unlike her, the lawyer I consulted, which I've offered to say who was the lawyer, if Dani accepted to answer some question, but they refused. Plaintiff is a resident of Canada. Don't matter. She alleged no Texas injury. You are in Texas doing the injury. You dumb bitch. No Texas business. No Texas-based conduct by defendant, but you are based in Texas. Forum shopping. Plaintiff filed in Texas purely to harass defendant who reside here. Now, I struck you in Texas because you committed fraud. Okay? Who told you to commit fraud? I cannot even be blamed for this. You volunteered that 10K to me. Plaintiff own YouTube channel profile list a location as Canada. Okay. Confirming she's not a Texas resident, but you are. This lawsuit involves a Canadian plaintiff, a California-based platform, and alleged action that occurred entirely online. But your ass is in Texas. So I can sue you in small claim in Texas because you're stupid enough to commit fraud.
That's what she does on her channel. She brings Latesha on her panel to try to argue about me instead of arguing with me. And you have to say, why would she want to do that? Listen, I'm not trying to shade Latesha, but let's be honest. Maggot knows she can't go toe-to-toe with me. She cannot debate with me. She cannot argue with me. I know too much about copyright. I know too much about all this stuff. I know what to say, how to say it, when to say it. I know my stuff. So she knows that Latesha doesn't know everything about copyright and everything about all these things because it's unrelated to her, it doesn't pertain to her. So she's hoping to bring her in there to argue about something that she has no clue of and that she's not a part of. So she's trying to play games and argue about something with Latesha that she should be arguing about with me. And people do that all the time, bring somebody else to court for something they have nothing to do with, hoping that they'll win some sort of thing or something. You know, it's a scheme. So if it's about Maggot, understand that she will do that. And in this lawsuit, if people are saying Dani, the judge should actually question, well, why isn't this lawsuit suing Dani and Latesha? Why is it just suing to Latesha and not Dani? It does not make any sense.
Texas courts lacks personal jurisdiction over this matter as a matter of law. I think they beg to differ because we're going to court. Oh yeah, she tried so hard to strike my motion for fee waiver, and she said that I was committing fraud on the court, which the judge didn't even acknowledge because that's so fucking stupid. I still have nothing to pay. So, you know, like I said, my name is Broke Bitch. If I had the time and the money, I would go federal only for those bitches. But no. Yeah, no. Only Latesha doesn't know that she's going to clearly lose. I know she's going to lose, but she doesn't know. Abuse of process and harassment-based filing. Plaintiff has used YouTube to repeatedly target defendant. Again, has nothing to do with fraud. Use defendant name and likeness and monetize video. Again, has nothing to do with fraud. Run fundraising links PayPal while discussing defendant. Still has nothing to do with the fact that you committed fraud. And escalate the statement concerning defendant's minor child. Again, has nothing to do with fraud. So yeah, that was her thing. Now she gave the conclusion. In light of the plaintiff material misrepresentation, lack of jurisdictional basis, and apparent misuse of the Texas court system to harass and retaliate against a Texas resident, defendant respectfully requests that this court not only dismiss the case with prejudice, but also consider referring this matter for further review of potential abuse of process. Well, the judge decided we're going to try.
Yeah, and Latesha, to be honest, should just, when people start talking about, listen, if I get on a panel and someone is talking about Dani, and I'm not Dani, I'm gonna say to them, listen, if you want this to be about Dani, who I'm not Dani, I can't speak for Dani, I can't talk for Dani, I don't know anything about Dani, then you get on the phone with Dani or you talk to Dani. I'm only here to talk about me. The moment you talk about someone else, I'm dropping out. I'm not responding. Talk to that person. I'll be damned if I be on a panel just to be talked. You know, if you're only, and I think people know that, if you're only over there or wanted over there because people want to talk to you about me, then it's not really about you. It's about me and the obsession. Okay. And that's what reality is. She wants Latesha over there only to talk about me. She wants Queen Tulsa over there only to talk about me, her obsession. And she knows she can't win against me in any argument or debate. I cannot give her a heads up or a clue as to how this is going to be handled, because that's what the liar wants, people to review things and talk about things so she can see her next move or how she can try to prepare or brace herself. No, you're a liar, and when you go to court, you're going to be known as a liar, because judges are not stupid, and judges will find out or see through this whole scam and sham of what you're trying to do.
And perjury related to the plaintiff fee waiver under Rule 145. Defendant further seeks any additional relief the court deemed just, including but not limited to sanction costs incurred in responding to this frivolous suit, and a formal admonishment of plaintiff conduct to prevent future misuse of judicial resources. She sent that on December 4. I sent my response on December 11. And the judge decided on December 12, upon reviewing motion and response, case to be set for non-jury trial. What are you talking about? Not only was the case not dismissed, I'm still in paying for shit. Okay? My name is broke bitch. Lady Latesha. Lady Latesha. Lady Latesha. Broke bitch Madgie. Thank you. Front broke back mountain. Broke back Madgie. So yes, again, I pay taxes in America, and I had to submit a W-8 form because I'm paying taxes. Oh, plaintiff suffered a Texas-based injury because defendant acted from Texas. Defendant located in Texas filed the false copyright strike from Texas. YouTube acted on her sworn perjury-based filing, causing video removal, loss of monetization, interruption of income, and risk of channel termination. A tort committed by a Texas resident in Texas. Like, your ass was in Texas, you didn't do that from Colombia. Established Texas jurisdiction, regardless of where plaintiff resides. Plaintiff is not self-employed because defendant fraudulent conduct eliminated her income. Defendant reference to harassment, doxing, or cyberbullying is irrelevant. Why are you talking about this? Defendant attempts to shift the case to unrelated online dispute. Small claim court does not adjudicate harassment, criminal allegation, or emotional grievances. These issues have no bearing on defendant fraudulent statement, contradictory ownership claim, the resulting financial harm. Plaintiff police report are likewise irrelevant to this civil fraud action. I'm like, why are you talking about this? Does she think that, hello, Evie, come here, Evie. I repeat, I paid for the e-filing. I paid for the lawyer that told me my right to help me come for a strategy to F every single one of your. Now, do I want to pay for the fee of the court for the costemble? And this is, again, another like $200, $300. No, I don't want to pay this. Jesus. Bye. Jesus Christ. Do they actually believe I just became a lawyer suddenly? These allegations state a valid Texas fraud claim, and defendant motion to dismiss must be denied, and it was.
Wait, so she's lying right here. She says, defendant's argument that no Texas-based act was alleged is likewise false. Defendant resides in Texas and files every fraudulent copyright strike from Texas. Fraud is a tort and jurisdiction attack is where the wrongful act occurred. You never even attached all the strikes talking about that Latesha did. You attached one that she did, and you attached stuff that I did and stuff that I did to an old channel, not even to your new one, because you're lying. It says defendant statements originated in Texas were transmitted from Texas and caused foreseeable economic harm. Finally, plaintiff expressly pleaded damages, including that she caused demonetization. Your new channel has not been demonetized. Video removal. Notice how you say video removal, not as video removal. That's plural, so that's only one. Loss of income for one video that was rightfully removed. There's nothing. Risk of channel termination. So you lost all this money because of a risk of channel termination. How would you lose money for risk of channel termination? And you are not demonetized. Where's the evidence? She's lying. Her new channel that she has now has not been demonetized. It has been monetized since she became monetized. These allegations satisfy the damages element of a Texas fraud claim because plaintiff has alleged a valid legal claim supported by specific facts, exhibits damages in Texas-based conduct. Defendant's assertion that the petition is legally insufficient is without merit. So she's trying to sue Latesha for fraud. She said she always acknowledged that she resides in Canada. No, you did not. When you filed this lawsuit, as the evidence shows, you were saying that you were in Texas, and you also used a California address that belongs to YouTube Studios.
I didn't. Oh, it was a mistake. Oops. Oopsie doopsie.
And you think that the judge is actually going to ignore all of this? The judge wants you to show up on that Zoom maggot, and so the judge can see you face to face and deal with you face to face on what you're doing. The judge is not stupid by you, long shot. You're gonna be sadly mistaken once you appear from Canada on Zoom, trying to fool a Texas judge on your lies, especially since y'all can submit evidence, and all the evidence on the show. Press 1 in the chat if you've seen the videos, even the most recent videos of Maggot saying that Dani terminated her channel or got her channel terminated. You never said Latesha got your channel terminated. You said me. You said that in at least 6 videos, Maggot. And I have video evidence of you saying it, even as of yesterday, that I got your channel terminated. So Maggot, judge is gonna hear you saying that Dani Robertson got your channel terminated.
Defendant factual summary consists almost entirely of allegations that have no legal relevance to the cause of action before the court. This case is about fraud. This case is about fraud, not harassment, YouTube commentary, or personal dispute. If that was the case and I was suing you for harassment or something, we'll be going federal, and federal takes a long time and I don't wanna. Texas Small Claim Court may consider only facts connected to the civil claim pleaded. Allegations about YouTube video commentary or online dispute are irrelevant. Harassment or doxing allegation by either party are irrelevant. Small Claim Court do not. That horrible name that I cannot pronounce, but I know how adjudicate harassment, doxing, cyberbullying, or emotional dispute. Yeah, and her stupid ass police report has no bearing on this stupid ass case. So defendant attempt to introduce unrelated misconduct is improper. Okay? I know she's not gonna take my advice because she's Lady Latesha and she never fucking listened to me. But you need to find a lawyer, like for real, like you're really stupid, like you really don't know what you're talking about. This is only about fraud. You committed fraud. There is nothing more complicated than that. And Dani confirmed you were committing fraud by filling out a freaking strike in her name 24 hours later.
So when the judge actually, and they sent information saying that y'all could bring evidence and submit evidence, and that it can be audio and video played in court. Imagine on that day when your ass is crying into your cup of coffee and it's being played in courtroom where you say, Dani terminated your channel, or Dani. And press 2 on the chat if you understand that I actually filed the real copyright lawsuit against Maggot. Press 2. And she talked about this lawsuit in several videos that I filed the copyright lawsuit against her. And it's actually in federal court records on paper
that was just an answer to her lawsuit. But then she dropped it the next day, and I never thought again about responding to that lawsuit, because what's the fucking point? She dropped it the next day. You know when Danielle sued me? Danielle Robertson was in Madgie. Plaintiff Danielle Robertson, pseudonym Jane Doe. That means that when Dani went to court to fill out that thing, she presented herself as Danielle Robertson.
That says that Dani Robertson filed a lawsuit. So that is a part of legal record. And since Latesha can produce evidence, she can produce evidence that shows that the copyright issues have nothing to do with her, because there was a federal lawsuit against Maggie by me. You see what I'm saying? So that's evidence. It's official record evidence. And this is the big old kicker of it all, about evidence and receipt. Press 3 in the chat if you recall when Maggie just admitted, like a couple of weeks ago, press 3, she admitted that she drafted a document that she intended to file with the court as a response to my lawsuit against her, that she intended to file, and that document, she actually sent a copy of that to Quiet Storm's assistant. And that assistant sent a copy to Auntie Mickey, who then sent it to me. So we have a copy of that actual thing. And we have a video of Maggie claiming that that's her lawsuit and her reading it.
That's how scared she got of my response, that she dropped her lawsuit 24 hours later. And I'm like, oh, that's what you're talking about. That wasn't a secret. Why are you talking about this now? You don't, Ollie Molly? So when I was, like I said, this is old. Like, this is old. Like, I had my old channel, like my original channel, like with 8,000 subs. I still had that channel, and that's when she said that she had paid $1,000 that my channel was going to be removed. And then I saw the lawsuit, because YouTube sent me the lawsuit. And then I was like, my plan was, at that point, I was like, I want to respond to the lawsuit. And Trees had made a video laughing at me, because she said that because I showed it on the internet, I had basically served myself. And I was like, well, I want to be served because I want to go to court with her. And then after that, I'm going to countersue the bitch. So that was when she did that, and she had not dismissed it yet. Because like I said, she dismissed it when I read that thing, because she saw how ridiculous it was. And I was like, yeah, I can respond to every point. You're so fucking stupid. Blah, 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 blah. And then she dropped the lawsuit the next day. And then I never thought about this lawsuit again. Because what's the point of me answering a lawsuit that was dismissed the next day? So yes, I'm like, okay, that's what you're talking about. I was so confused. I was like, okay. No, because the bad faith thing, that was like an end of July. Like, that was like old. Because like I said, when I still had my first channel, that's a long time ago. So what happened is that she sued me because she needed a proof for the counter notification to not pass through, because I was going to get my channel back. So, well, I was going to have the strike removed from that channel. So she had to sue me. The CCB thing was not enough. So she sued me federally. YouTube sent me that lawsuit as a proof as to why I couldn't get the video removed. And I was, thank you, Victoria. Thank you. Make it rain if you love your owl. So yeah, it was when Dani like dismissed her lawsuit like a bitch. Like the day after. Are you gonna answer this now? Since now I remember, does it mean now that you're gonna answer why you dismiss your lawsuit after 10 days and literally the day after you literally had to, like, I'm gonna finally answer?
But here is the big issue with that, Maggot. That whole document that you wrote about how you lost money and you begging for your channel back and how it was terminated. The whole document just says Maggot versus YouTube and Dani Robertson. Latesha's name is not mentioned at all. At that time, and you wrote it and drafted it up, you never mentioned her name as part of why you lost money, Maggot. And Maggot, I think you forgot what you did. You know what you did, Maggot? You forgot that when you filed that document, not when you filed it, but when you posted that document and you read it and you admitted that you wrote it and who you were actually blaming, you forgot that you attached a bunch of exhibits to that document. So now, Lady Latesha can submit my lawsuit against you, and then your subsequent response right here where you responded, where you were going to respond to me, and you wrote this document, Maggot versus Dani Robertson. And Maggot, guess what? You said Dani Robertson is the one that came off of your channel and terminated your channel.
So yeah, stop introducing unrelated thing to the court. The judge is not gonna like that, but you know what? I know she ain't gonna listen to me, so go in peace. Under Texas Justice Court, Rule 500.3, proceeding must be limited to the issue properly before the court. The only relevant facts are: defendant filed multiple DMCA strike. Defendant and another individual claim ownership of the like, sincerely, they don't understand. Like Dani knows because Dani just don't give a fuck. But Lady Latesha doesn't know. The moment Dani did that, I started laughing because I was like, impossible that she just gave me that. Like, just gave it to me. Like, what the hell? And that showed me how much she don't give a fuck about Lady Latesha. Defendant knew false strike could cause channel loss and plaintiff suffered economic harm as a direct result. Everything else defendant raised is an attempt to distract from her own conduct. Lady Latesha is really gonna pay me $10K for it.
So on line 34, you said that it was Dani Robertson that caused this issue. And right here he says, as a direct and proximate result of defendant Robertson's violations, plaintiff has suffered and continues to suffer damages, including but not limited to lost income, lost subscribers, and damaged reputation. So when you said this, Lady Latesha was not mentioned. So this whole issue is me versus you, Maggot. It's not about Lady Latesha. Why are you suing Lady Latesha? So now this has now become evidence for Lady Latesha's case that this is something she's been dragged into, an issue that pre-existed before anything. That, do you understand that on Lady Latesha's channel, she has the first date that song was created? Do you understand that things are documented, Maggot? Go to Lady Latesha's channel and look when the song was created. When was the song created for Lady Latesha's Smooth Jam? That was created after your channel was terminated, after you already lost the channel and lost your money. And you can say, how can that be known? Because you lost your channel in June, Maggot. You lost your channel in June. And Lady Latesha's song was not created and first published until July 22nd, 2025. I had her uploaded to her YouTube channel as her first published date of July 22nd, 2025. That's nearly over a month after your channel was terminated. So how can her song be responsible for anything that you said you lost your money in June because of her? But wait, how can that be when the Smooth Jam song wasn't even created in June?
So yeah, the court must evaluate the motion to dismiss solely on whether plaintiff has pleaded facts constituting fraud, and plaintiff clearly has, because you committed fraud. Section 6, rebuttal to defendant claim of copyright ownership of Lady Latesha's Smooth Jam. Yeah, because they don't know the law. Like, they don't, like I said, I'm like, if I don't know the law because it ain't my country and I am from Canada, You have to go to a lawyer. There is no choice. You cannot go to ChatGPT. Okay, ChatGPT can help for translation or writing paragraph, but you need to tell ChatGPT what what the AI needs to write. You cannot count on ChatGPT to give you a reasoning, to give you laws, because ChatGPT has been created to please you. So you need to see a lawyer. Like, I've already said that. I'm like, yo, I had to pay for a lawyer, and I offered to give the name of the lawyer if Dani wants to answer a question, because fuck you, I don't owe you shit. And like I said, Polly was there while I was talking about, okay, I need to go see the lawyer. Okay, I need to go. Oh, what you think about that? Oh, what you think about that? What, like, she was there. So I don't understand why she's acting as if I tried to steal money. I'm like, yo, if I hadn't had for free the actual case and constable and all of that, I would have had to raise another $1,000. Like, it's literally $300 per people at least. But no, I got it for free. So I used 1,000. Woo! I needed to see a lawyer. There is no other choice. Because when you don't see a lawyer, well, you end up like Lady Latesha and Dani and everyone. Like, you need a lawyer. Like, at least just to take advice. Jesus Christ. So, rebuttal to defendant claim of copyright ownership of Lady Latesha's Smooth Jam. Lady Latesha, Lady Latesha. God, I can't stand the bitch. Defendant assert that the audio track Lady Latesha's Smooth Jam is a personalized work she created, owned, and used in good faith. DMCA complains. This claim is central to the fraud issue, and it is false for multiple independent reasons. One, plaintiff did not use Lady Latesha's Smooth Jam. Like, let's be clear. At the first thing, I remove her song. I remove Dani's song. I remove everyone's song, okay? I don't want to deal with your song. Fuck off. So, first, I remove it. Second, you don't own it, so who gives a fuck? So yeah, defendant cannot own the track because AI generated music is not copyright protectable. Lady Latesha, Defendant ownership claim is contradicted by a second DMCA claim filed by Dani Robertson. That's so stupid. Defendant provide no proof of authorship or ownership. Where are your proof? Except that it has your name in it. Oh my God. So stupid. Defendant did not act in good faith because a knowingly false DMCA filing is automatically bad faith. Like, it's false. Shut up. This case is not about online dispute. It's about defendant's false statement. Response to defendant claim of failure to state a cause of action. Well, it doesn't arise from a federal copyright state, okay? Like I said, it's fraud. Please understand, the sole cause of action asserted is fraud, okay? I'm telling you that you committed fraud by using your DMCA claim, but you still committed fraud. I'm not suing you for giving me false claim. I'm suing you for interfering with my ability to make money by using that. You committed fraud. You committed fraud. Okay. I work for an American company. I have to pay American taxes. Okay. So yeah, the personal jurisdiction is proper. I'm not suing you. I'm not suing her for I don't know, for a federal crime like harassment. I'm suing her for fraud. Plaintiff cannot be punished for financial harm caused by defendant own fraud. Okay? Defendant accusation do not meet the standard for fraud on the court, which the court agreed because they did nothing. Defendant accusation do not address the only issue before the court, her fraudulent filing. Okay, that's it. That's all. You committed fraud. That's it. Trying to make it go round and round and round. Only work with ChatGPT, babe. So yeah, I made no material misrepresentation. Everyone knows I'm Canadian. Not today. I think you are starting to get the devious mind that I have too. Jurisdiction is proper, okay? the defendant reside in Texas, and the defendant committed the tort in Texas. This lawsuit is not harassment. It is a valid tort claim. No basis exists for sanction or dismissal with prejudice. The only issue before the court is defendant fraudulent copyright filing.
It was created in July. So there's a timeline issue here. That's what happens when you try to lie and try to combine two separate issues into one. Something that was created in July and first published in July cannot be something that is responsible for something that occurred in June, unless it's back in the future shit going on here. And ladies and gentlemen, that's not all. And you can say, how will we have proof of this timeline? And then you will say, listen, scroll down Maggie's own document. Maggie shows receipt and her own document when she was planning on responding. She exposes herself. Her channel was terminated. It says Dani Montana Instrumental. So how will a judge think about this document where it shows that her actual channel was terminated because of Dani Montana Instrumental? It doesn't say anything about Lady Latesha Smooth Jams. And Maggie, you sent this to YouTube. You sent it to YouTube, Maggie. Oops. We have all your emails that you sent to YouTube because guess what? Right here, you're showing all your emails to YouTube and all these dates shows July. It shows June. June 18, June 18, June 17, around the time your channel was terminated from YouTube. So how can her son be responsible for all your terminations and your channel termination when it wasn't created to July?
So yeah, while Lady Latesha was trying to basically show that I am harassing her online, which has no bearing on the fraud, my exhibit are DMCA copyright complaints submitted by defendant Latesha. This exhibit contained the initial copyright complaint defendant submitted to YouTube, and which assert exclusive ownership of an audio track titled Lady Latesha Smooth Jam. So I show that she clearly tried to strike me. I don't know how many times, 7 times. Okay. So there you see that she swore under penalty of perjury. Oh, yeah. No. The Macy thing, that was unrelated case party contacted court, which I suppose is Dani. So it was a Macy Thomas called asking about case. So yeah, she swore under penalty of perjury that this thing belongs to her. Now, when you look at the, hello, Heart Angel, when you look at the Copyright Office and you type Lady Latesha, there is nothing because there is no copy, there is nothing. Now, evidence demonstrating knowledge of copyright registration. So because this exhibit includes documentation showing that defendant Murray close associate Dani Robertson has successfully registered multiple work with the U.S. Copyright Office, demonstrating clear familiarity with copyright procedure. So oopsie doopsie is not gonna work, okay? Despite this knowledge, neither defendant registered the track Lady Latesha Smooth Jam. So there I'm showing the registration for the thing of Dani. Yeah, it's about money only. It's not about holding her criminally accountable for what? For harassment? Do you know how much you have to freaking annoy yourself to prove harassment? Like, whoo! Me, I am for the solution that oopsie doopsie is not a legal defense. For Lady Latesha it is. This exhibit contains YouTube official notification informing plaintiff that a video were removed due to defendant copyright submission.
Oh, right here it says June 5th, 2025. It's showing videos that were removed because of me. And you sent this all to YouTube, Maggie. It's in YouTube records. You sent it to YouTube. And it's all saying Dani Montana Instrumental. So all Lady Latesha has to say is your channel was terminated in June before I even had my song. And it says your channel was terminated because of Dani Montana Instrumental. And Dani Robertson sued you because of it. And here's the actual lawsuit. There's a bunch of evidence. And then there's videos of you crying saying Dani did it. So now the judge has to wonder, why is Lady Latesha been brought into a case of a dispute between two other people?
The song does not belong to Lady Latesha. That's why I already showed my response, because every argument that Lady Latesha had the pure stupidity to repeat, which is when I was like, you're too stupid and I'm begging of you to at least take a lawyer to give you a fighting chance. because this is stupid. Like going, well, she's Canadian. I'm like, yes, the court is aware. It's all good. No. It is done. Okay. We are going to court with Lady Latesha. But clearly, those people are so dumb. Hello, Brandy. Like, those people are so dumb that they don't even realize. Lady Latesha refused to accept that I'm not suing her for copyright. Yes, she used copyright as a weapon to commit fraud, but I'm suing her for fraud because I don't know why she seems to believe that she's the only person on this planet named Lady Latesha. I'm like, you are not the only person. Okay, the fact that a song was AI generated with your name in it doesn't mean it's yours. Why? Because even Dani knows it. Because 24 hours. Do you know how fucked up that is? That not even 24 hours after Lady Latesha promised on perjury that this track belonged to her, 24 hours later, Dani filled out the same thing and said, I promise that this is mine. I'm like, I wish she brought Dani during the thing. Like, I wish. I would be like, so why did you claim the same fucking music 24 hours later? Were you not aware that it belonged to Latesha? Like, come on, man. She's so stupid. She doesn't even realize what Dani did to her. Yeah, she thinks she's the only person named Latesha on this planet. It's not because a song has my fucking name in it that it means that it's mine. It's not because a song was even if an orchestra was behind it and a beautiful song, it wouldn't be yours, except if you copyrighted. So yeah, she is so dumb, which is why even though she put up her document on December 4th, I put up my response and December 11th. And the judge just needed, he was like, okay. And she's like, the judge didn't read those 26 pages. Of course, the judge read those. 26 pages is not a lot of pages. What the fuck? What does she like? What? I know she went and she did like 13, but like 26 pages is not that much, girl. Especially with the exhibit. And she's like, she cannot prove it's not mine. The Copyright USA database is saying it ain't yours. Oh, I didn't make her lose any money. You want to bet? You want to bet? Good luck. You're so dumb. Granted, dear Judge Sander, I'm the plaintiff and the above reference number currently set for a non-jury trial on January 21, 2026 at 10 a.m. in Precinct 7 Justice Court. I want Kristen to be there. I respectfully request permission to appear remotely via Zoom or other court-approved virtual platform rather than in person. I reside in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Okay, bitch? They know I'm Canadian, but I pay taxes. For the court date, due to the significant distance, international travel costs, and logistical limitation, appearing in person would impose an undue burden. So yes, basically was granted. Okay, so for her to start before she start talking in my head. So yeah, she received it. We both received it. We are going to court in January 21, 2026. And now she's convinced that I did that because I cannot get to Dani. I'm like, what are you talking about? What? Lady Latesha has done for her own purpose. Yeah, that's what I want. I'm like, yeah. A justice of the peace court. Look at it. Okay. Yeah, they're gonna find her. Like they're gonna find her. Like they can find anyone. It's just I'm like, you're making it harder for them. You're making it annoying for them. That's stupid. Okay, that's stupid. You're making it longer for them, making them have to do work. Stupidity and madness. LOMG. This will be the only notification of this setting. If she doesn't present herself, I have a default, which, automatically mean I won. Please refer to your petition, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I am, my case was not dismissed. The fee waivers. Hello, Queen Tulsa. Can I help you with something? Because I have a question for you. I've been wanting to ask one of Dani's sycophant about that. Let me find it. Like, guys, help me with this. Help me with this.
And right here, you says, this person just sent me 2 new copyright strikes from one of her friends, blah, 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 talking about OD Patrice. She said, I will all the strikes removed. And she's talking about Dani Robertson. And then again, Danny Montana Instrumental, OD Patrice. So I want Latesha to tell the truth to the judge, what she should. And that is that the lawsuit that Dani Robertson struck Maggie's channel, and when she struck her channel with multiple strikes, and she filed a lawsuit against her for copyright for Danny Montana Instrumental, that Maggie tried to fight it out with YouTube, and YouTube said it was valid strikes, and YouTube refuses to reinstate her channel. Maggie wrote a whole document with exhibits and everything to fight Dani Robertson. And when that all failed, that it didn't work, she's now trying to bring me to court, accusing me of something I have nothing to do with. That's the truth.
I wanted to counter sue Dani, and I wanted to answer her lawsuit when she wanted to sue me, and I was mad as fuck because I was like, what the fuck? And then I got even more mad against YouTube because even though this bitch dismissed her lawsuit in 10 days, they still did not give me back my channel. 6 months ago, Dani tried to sue me to take my channel. Well, didn't try. She succeeded in suing me. And then, the secret I reveal is that I was going to answer Dani's lawsuit, and then she dropped her lawsuit like a bitch.
Was not even created at the time. So when Maggie sends screenshots of lost income or money, that's from June. That has nothing to do with Latesha. Okay. So, anyways, we're not gonna get into all of it, but just know that there's receipts for everything. So Maggie's just a liar, and I hope she got her receipts of what she said, because the receipt says otherwise. That Latesha has nothing to do with your channel termination at all, or any loss of income.
Dear Madgie Kwaku-Germain, I am a staff attorney with the Copyright Claims Board reviewing your claim for compliance with the Case Act and the board regulation. Your claim is basically compliant except for the final sentence. So my claim is compliant. Description of armed serve and relief sought. Section of the claim. I respectfully seek monetary relief and the amount of $15,000 for the declaration of non-infringement and $15K for misrepresenting under 17 USC. No monetary demand can be made for a non-infringement claim. Okay. The board can award up to $30K and damage on a misrepresentation claim if proven, but on non-infringement claim, the only relief the board can grant is a declaration of non-infringement. More information about the form of relief available from the board can be found, blah, blah, blah. We can make a small amendment to the claim if you authorize it. May I have your authorization to edit that final sentence to omit the request? For example, if you approve, we can amend the sentence to, I respectfully seek a declaration on non-infringement and $15K for misrepresentation under 17, reflecting the substantial harm suffered and the seriousness of respondent bad faith abuse of the copyright enforcement system. Please let me know by January. I did. So yes, now it's written. Thank you. We have updated the claim. A notice of compliance will be issued directing you to have the claim served. So, Dani, now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the time to show me that you're so good at copyright. Don't opt out, because she can opt out. And anyway, it's just going to make my claim so much stronger if I was to sue her in federally. Or I can just go small claim, whatever. We can do all. Okay, babe? So, I am suing her and she's going to be served. Lady Latesha has already been served and we are going to trial in January. Am I not doing everything I said I was going to do?
And you only have one screenshot to show Lady Latesha did one strike on your channel. And one strike doesn't terminate a channel. And that's for your new channel that's still up. Press 1 if you see that Maggot, her new channel is still up. It's monetized. It's functional. And that's the channel that was Lady Latesha struck one time for Lady Latesha's new channel. The rest of the strikes were for me. So with that being said, she never told the judge that, you know, that Dani Robertson is the one responsible. She's trying to make it seem like Lady Latesha is just the one responsible, but that's not true. So with that being said, this whole thing that she did, I went over this already, but there's a bunch of emails that she wrote to YouTube complaining about Dani Robertson. So look, it says, YouTube ongoing decision to ignore what Dani Robertson is doing. So why in this whole document, there's nothing about Lady Latesha. It's about it's about me versus her. I want to see the facially valid takedown notice submitted by Dani Robertson. And all these emails were sent in June. These were all sent in June. It's all about Dani Robertson. So Lady Latesha has her permission to put the blame where it is. Say Dani Robertson. And there's receipts to say all is between Dani. What's going on between Dani and Maggie, and she's trying to involve me. And also, I would sue Maggie for harassment and anything else I could sue her for. And I also would sue her for defamation for even lying on you. I would do a counter lawsuit and win money against her. And that's the thing about receipts. The moment the judge says they can hear audio and video is the moment Maggie is fucked. Because there's too many videos. And I think there's even a video where she actually admitted that she did say Lady Latesha has nothing to do with her channel termination. It was me. I can't. I gotta go back through the videos, but she's gonna be fucked at all since there's video evidence of what can be put out.
So yeah, basically, that's what I said I was going to do. I was always trying to make it so that I had to pay the less of thing possible, because unlike what those weirdos believe, $1,000 is not a lot of money. It's really not. It's not a lot of money. And I know, and I'm really sad for Lady Latesha because she's not bright and she's gonna listen to Dani and she is gonna lose because it's not about Dani. It's about her. Okay, like I don't understand why Dani keeps on saying that it's about me. You want to sue me? I'm like, I'm suing you, bitch. Don't opt out. You said you were that good. You're that good. You're that good. You're that good. You know the law. You know the law. You know the law. You know the law. Don't opt out. Or I'm just gonna go to small claim, like whatever.
So right here she says, Defendant knew each strike would remove plaintiff's videos, disrupt monetization, and push her channel toward termination. The close timing and coordination with Robertson further support an inference of deliberate intent. Her monetization was not girl, please stop. You're not gonna get no $10,000. You're conflating issues, okay? So Maggie actually, let me go back to her. She actually submitted something trying to say that she lost income. That channel she has now is not making that much income. She submitted screenshots. Right here, it's showing old funds that is related to the old channel. So for Latesha, you will have to show, this is from March and April, I guess, or some other times. This is like before your channel was terminated. This is about the old channel. So you cannot submit income related to an old channel. Okay, so if that's from your old channel income, that's not gonna count. You have to submit for that. Latesha did one video. You have to submit for that one video how much money was earned from that one video. You cannot say something about your old channel. So let me say this. My issue with Maggie is she's trying to say that she lost money, but she's talking about her old channel lost income. But she cannot blame Latesha for her old channel lost income. She can only try to say something for the new one. And even the new one, she can't, because Latesha owns her song, Latesha's New Jam. And we're going to have proof of that. So, that's not going to actually work either for Maggie. So she actually owns the rights to strike you for Latesha's New Jams. Let me actually say this for copyright. Anyone can strike you if they own something or made something. The moment they create something, they own it. However, no one can sue you unless they successfully sue you unless they own a valid copyright. Latesha never sued her. To sue someone successfully, you need to register it. But if you're just saying you own it the moment you make it. Okay, so I hope that people understand that. You only have to register if you plan to sue people. You don't have to register if you never plan to sue people. You can still strike people for your ownership. Okay, just because like right now, I don't register all my songs, but I guarantee you, if you use one of my songs, I will strike you.
So yeah, I'm suing Dani for what she has done. It has nothing to do with Lady Latesha. I wouldn't be able to sue Lady Latesha at the CCB board, nor will I be able to sue what's her name, OJ Patrice on the CCB board. I can sue OJ Patrice and small claim. I can also sue Dani and small claim. But let's be clear. Why? I prefer to do the CCB thing. It's funnier, and you already have the bad faith judgment. I wouldn't have the basis to sue Lady Latesha at the CCB. Same for OJ Patrice. I wouldn't win. I can get you for fraud, though. And that's the thing they don't understand. Like, they really don't understand that I told them, I'm suing you, all of you. I need to know my right. I will know my right, and I will do what I need to do to every single one of you. Dani is so good in copyright. She's so good in copyright. She's so good in copyright. You know what? The only nice thing I will say, if Dani doesn't opt out, I will not sue her federally. Because God knows you cannot afford another federal case, bitch. 1, 2. If Dani gives me back my channel, I will dismiss the case against Lady Latesha. I know they won't. So, moral of the story, Dani, don't opt out, okay? Don't annoy me, making me have to go and pay more money, man. You're already going to be bankrupt because of Teddy and Timmy. Please don't add me like that.
But that doesn't mean I have registered it. But it still means that it's my song. If I sat there and wrote my lyrics, that's my song. So I will strike you, and YouTube will take your video down because that's my song. So, but if I wanted to sue you in court, then I would need to register it. So there are some things I do register, and to be honest, I will be over time registering my song lyrics that I wrote myself. Okay. Now, will I copyright the whole song? No, I will copyright the portions that are human created. Okay. And I humanly authored. So that's how AI works. You can't copyright what's AI. You can copyright the portions that are humanly yours. So in that way, you can still strike people based on your human portions of the song. People don't get that. Lord have mercy. And I'm not here to educate people. But if you want to be ignorant, then you just have to be ignorant. So anyways, that's the lawsuit right there. And she's bringing up my name throughout it because she's trying to, but Maggie messed up because she already had posted receipts. Well, she messed up by sending that lawsuit that she was intending on filing against me to that research assistant, because now when she sent it to the research assistant, we now have all her emails back and forth to YouTube. And to be honest, that's a smoking gun. Number one, we have her video from June crying because I terminated her channel. And number two, we have all these emails between her and YouTube telling the real reason why her channel was terminated.
So yeah, that is Dani gonna make me listen. I could go federally with her. Don't bug me, okay? Let's go CCB lah. Don't bug me in my life. I thought you're big bad, big bad, big bad. I thought she was a big bad, big bad, big bad. So what is the reason you're suing Lady Latesha? What I'm suing her because she committed fraud. Dani, like an idiot, decided to because and my countersuit that I sent to Quiet Storm and Associate. That's what I understand. That Mia person, MIA.
Flashback. Oh, joy.
I didn't tell you about Quiet Storm to have you worked with him. I told you because I wanted him off the net. Where am I working with him? Do you mean because of this person writing to me and saying, he asked me to send this to you? And that was the first email, by the way. I don't know. I was like, who the fuck is he? And I didn't answer. And I showed it to the chat. And then that person said, whoa, because I had a suspicion that he must have been Quiet Storm, I suppose. It would be so much easier if I still had my old channel to see the old videos. But yeah, am I to be held accountable for someone sending me an email and me showing it to my chat? Is that the lie? I so don't want to lie that I am showing this. Like, what do people want from me?
So Maggot is toast, and why the real reason she lost income back then. And any income you show, that loss of income, Maggot, is gonna be from June, before June. Because you told the judge that you lost your income back in June because of Lady Latesha. But now the judge is gonna see you lost your income back in June because of Dani Robertson. Press one if you understand that. She told the judge that she lost her income back in June because of Lady Latesha. And Lady Latesha's son wasn't created until July. And these emails are all saying that she lost her income back in June because of me. She lost her income because of me in June. So how can she now blame Lady Latesha for that? You see, it does not make sense. So to win a judgment, the judge is gonna say, we need to prove that you lost your income in what month. And the moment she started saying June and April and May and anything before June, is when it's going to point to these emails that it was because of Dani Robertson. You see, she's fucked. You cannot win money just because you're saying it. You have to where's the proof that you lost money because of Lady Latesha? You see what I'm saying? You've only shown right now money lost because you're trying to say it's from June, but that's from this. That's from this. And oh Maggot, I think you also are forgetting one other thing. Because see, people don't understand how things actually work because they're liars and they're not thinking things all the way through. And let me show you what it is. On people's channels, on their profiles, it will tell you the date of creation, the day the channel was actually created. And Maggie's channel is going to say that her new channel was created on June 24 of 2025. So when you're trying to say that Lady Latesha is responsible for your channel termination, or your channel being down, or your loss of income since June, what about this, Maggie? It says you joined your channel in on June 24, 2025, your new channel was started. So that coincides with the timeline that we're saying that your old channel was terminated and you lost that income. And your new channel that's up and currently monetized is actually created June 24, 2025. So anything dealing with Lady Latesha came after your new channel was created. You see what I'm saying? you got to understand that everything is going to line up for the judge. All Latesha has to really do is present the evidence.
And then she sent it to Auntie Pick Me. On that one, she said that she saw my revenue, and I'm like, yeah, bitch, we call that a pattern. Okay, I show for multiple months I was making that amount, which shows that I'm not being unreasonable, that I was doing $5,000 a month. We call that proof that I was making the revenue I said I was making. Why are you so stupid? It is just a baseline. That's the point. That's why I show always the same, because during that period, that was what I was making per month. It is to show that I was making that amount per month. But Dani really thought she was even whispering, guys. She was like, listen, my God. Listen, my God. You don't know. Listen, my God. And I was like, shut your bitch ass. Oh my God.
What proof that you lose money because of Lady Latesha's Smooth Jams? And after her song was created in July. So show your receipts of lost income from June and forward, or from the time of Lady Latesha. And number two, also prove that Lady Latesha doesn't own her song when the song is literally saying it's Lady Latesha. How many people on YouTube, their channel name is Lady Latesha? That's the only person on YouTube that's their channel name is Lady Latesha, is that. So what judge is gonna think that those are her lyrics to her song? It's Lady Latesha, which is her channel name. Like, make it make sense. Like, you're looking stupid out here. And yeah, she didn't really earn anything from new channels. It took her a while to get monetized. So she cannot blame Lady Latesha for something she wasn't even monetized. You see what I'm saying? We're all together, Maggot is just a liar, and she lost against me. So she's trying to bring Lady Latesha to court to argue about something.
You're so dumb. So yeah, I said I was going to do that. I said I had a plan. I said I don't want to pay. I said I needed $1,000. I said I was going to a lawyer. I said everything already. Those people, while Lady Latesha was committing fraud, I kept on telling her, you're committing fraud. That's not good. And she didn't give a fuck. Like, she continued to commit fraud. That's why now Dani being like, ooh, you only showed one. I'm like, first of all, it's not because I showed some that were in French. Okay, I'm sorry you don't understand every fucking language, bitch. That it means I only showed one. One, two. What the fuck are you talking about? Stop trying. Like, the craziest part is, I have said for months that it was 7 times. I never changed. I never went back on the word. Never. Okay, it's always been 7. Okay, because while it was happening, I was telling you guys, look. Now the bitch is saying it only happened 1 time. I'm like, okay, girl, like, this is so stupid and pathetic and sad. Like, if you think I don't have the screenshot, it's so stupid. I didn't show all the exhibit because that would be way too big, especially just for me to, because I was responding to her motion to dismiss. Where is the logic? Where is the logic? There is no logic. There is only doom. I would pray for Lady Latesha to go see a lawyer, okay? Don't trust Dani, for the love of God. Dani is the reason why you're in this situation.
She lost against me and getting her channel back. So now she wants to argue about her channel to the court with Lady Latesha, just like she does on YouTube. So she's trying to do the same thing she does on YouTube, but with Lady Latesha. And she wants Lady Latesha to argue about me. And that's stupid. Like, why are you trying to bring Lady Latesha to argue something that's dealing with me? But then you have to say, she does that on YouTube. She brings Lady Latesha on her channel to argue about me. And then she's hoping that Lady Latesha doesn't know the answer, because why would Lady Latesha know the answer about something dealing with me? And that's why Lady Latesha, I told her a bunch of times, just drop down. Like, you cannot answer questions about me. You don't know about the lawsuit. You don't know about copyright or what's happening with me and her. So you cannot answer questions. But Lady Latesha will entertain her. And now Maggot is thinking that, hey, I can bring Latesha in the court and Latesha like, oopsie, or, you know, saying something like that's not right. So then she could try to, you know, like make up some shit. That's what she's hoping for. This is all a scam. I have one more thing I want to talk about with Maggot as far as scam goes. And that's why I am going to help her, Latesha, best as I can with evidence and have everything lined up so she can possibly use that, have everything lined up against this narcissistic liar. When you're dealing with a liar, a sociopath, you have to be prepared, have your receipts, have all your ducks in a row so you can argue against their deflection, against their lies, and against their conflation and made up bullshit. You have to still be prepared. Because a liar is still going to lie in the courtroom. But ultimately, let me say this. This case is being presented as if Latesha caused a YouTube channel termination or a close to termination or a loss of income. That is false. Latesha did not terminate any channel or put any channel at risk of any termination, cause any channel to be taken down. Latesha did not cause any loss of income. And the evidence proving that is quite extensive, is consistent, and is admissible. The original channel termination was caused by me through valid copyright strikes due to her using Dani Montana instrumental. She submitted emails to YouTube actually declaring that as the truth, that it was because of Dani Montana instrumental. And YouTube decided that it was valid strikes and valid takedowns, and that she wasn't going to get her channel back. And that was in June. There's emails applied by Maggie herself that proves that. There's Maggie admitted in writing and on video of her channel being terminated back in June because of my copyright takedowns, not anything to do with Latesha. And there's evidence to prove that her new channel was created after her other channel was terminated, and she wasn't even monetized on that channel until a little bit later, and she's still monetized on that channel currently. Latesha Smooth Jams was first published on YouTube in July after the original channel was terminated, so it has nothing to do with the anything in June for loss of income. How can a song created in July be responsible for a June termination or loss of income? This is not Back to the Future.
So sad. Like I said, she keeps on talking about Dani, and when she use that as a defense, it ain't gonna help, babe. And the contrary. But yeah, and also one of the things that Dani keeps on saying is that Lady Latesha has the video of me crying in my coffee. I'm like, do you know that a normal human being is gonna look at Lady Latesha as if she's a crazy and disgusting person for showing that video that has, first of all, no relevance to the case. Second of all, I look super sad. People will have pity on me. You don't want the judge to feel pity on me? Showing a video of me crying, how do you think the judge is gonna react? Like, she's crying in her coffee. Most people are gonna be, that's fucking sad. Because that's how normal people react. I know Avengers are not normal people because they act, it makes her look bad. But I know the Avenger live in that delusion that they think that normal people will look at someone crying and laugh. But most people are like, when they see someone cry, especially a woman. Our judge is a black man. You're here laughing at a black woman crying. You think it's going to be cool? Knock yourself out. Show it. Like, I'm gonna gain sympathy. Like, that's why I'm listening to Dani and I'm like, Lady Latesha, go fucking see a lawyer. Are you kidding me right now? But she think throwing it back on my face is one thing. Showing it to the court? What do they think will be the reaction to seeing me cry?
Now, let's go back to the original channel. The original channel was terminated after I filed copyright claims. Those claims were based on registered works properly submitted and reviewed by YouTube. After the termination, Madgie did what anyone would do. She contacted YouTube. She appealed. She asked for her channel back. YouTube reviewed the matter and YouTube said no. They told her the termination was valid. That is not my opinion. That's YouTube's ultimate decision. And once YouTube independently reviews a termination and confirms it as valid, that termination stands on its own. It's not speculative. It's not about assumptions or guesses. They said they investigated it and they found it to be valid. And Maggie herself even posted proof that I have registered copyrights for Dani Montana instrumental. And so you cannot later blame that on someone else to recover money or to re-argue or relitigate that issue in a different courtroom. That channel was already gone before Latesha was Smooth Jams was even created in July. And the email evidence is admissible in court, to where it shows Maggie communicating with YouTube back in June about this channel termination. And then her channel actual start date is later in that month, showing that she started a new YouTube channel to get monetized. Now, this part is extremely important. Maggie personally authored a document, wrote a document. She admitted on video that she wrote it herself against me. She explained it in her own words that the document was intended to be her lawsuit against me, Dani Robertson, for her channel termination, or it was going to be her response to my federal lawsuit against her, which was later dismissed around, I think, the June 17th. That document contains her written narrative, her legal position, and it attached YouTube exhibits, including extensive YouTube emails admitting to the channel termination. And throughout that document, she repeatedly attributes her channel termination to me, and YouTube. And it also was showing like YouTube's validation of the termination. Yeah. Not once did she attribute the termination to Latesha's Smooth Jams or any song. And in fact, if the judge looks through my copyright lawsuit I filed in June and the subsequent correspondence that she was going to actually submit her as a filing or response to mine, Latesha Smooth Jams, that did not come up at all. Only Dani Montana instrumental. And that matters because Maggie authored that document. She confirmed authorship on video, and these are admissions because she's a party to the case. And again, that makes the document and her video testimony admissible evidence. There's plenty of videos of her saying that Dani had her channel termination, or Dani caused her loss of income. So now she cannot subsequently blame that on Latesha. And like I said, the document does not mention Latesha Smooth Jams or any takedown related to Latesha or any claim that Latesha caused the termination or opposed the termination. And the reason it does not mention those things is simple.
Like I said, perjuring yourself is not a good thing. It's not a good idea to perjure yourself, ever. Lady Latesha refused to accept that I'm not suing her for copyright. Yes, she used copyright as a weapon to commit fraud, but I'm suing her for fraud because I don't know why she seems to believe that she's the only person on this planet named Lady Latesha. I'm like, you are not the only person. Okay, the fact that a song was AI generated with your name in it doesn't mean it's yours. Why? Because even Dani knows it. Because 24 hours. Do you know how fucked up that is? That not even 24 hours after Lady Latesha promised on perjury that this track belonged to her. 24 hours later, Dani filled out the same thing and said, I promise that this is mine. I'm like, I wish she brought Dani during the thing. Like, I wish. I would be like, so why did you claim the same fucking music 24 hours later? Were you not aware that it belonged to Latesha? Like, come on, man. She's so stupid. She doesn't even realize what Dani did to her. Yeah, she thinks she's the only person named Latesha on this planet. It's not because a song has my fucking name in it that it means that it's mine. It's not because a song was even if an orchestra was behind it and a beautiful song, It wouldn't be yours, except if you copyrighted. So yeah, she is so dumb, which is why, even though she put up her document on December 4th, I put up my response and December 11th, and the judge just needed, he was like, okay. And she's like, the judge didn't read those 26 pages. Of course, the judge read those. 26 pages is not a lot of pages. What the fuck? What does she like? What? I know she went and she did like 13, but like 26 pages is not that much, girl, especially with the exhibit. And she's like, she cannot prove it's not mine. The Copyright USA database is saying it ain't yours. Oh, I didn't make her lose any money. You want to bet? You want to bet? Good luck. You're so dumb. Please go see a lawyer. Okay, the whole Canadian thing is absolutely useless. Okay? Like, I actually don't. Do you know how horrible it is to feel like you're like bullying a child? I'm like, yo, please, okay? Like, find someone that can at least help you in this or something. Like, help yourself, please. Stop trusting Dani. She don't give a shit. She's the reason why you are in this situation. I'm not your friend. I'm your enemy. The fuck? No, she needs a lawyer. Auntie Pick Me knows nothing. Didn't she go to jail and did CRAC? Like, fuck her. I don't know why they're obsessed with the number of pages. Like, did they not see that Dani will give, without even blinking, a 100-page document to people? I did need help for the law because, unlike those weirdos, I am actually aware when I am at a disadvantage, which is, I don't know international law. I would have never believed that as a Canadian, I could sue someone's small claim.
At the time the original channel was terminated, the song did not exist. It had not been published at all, and it had nothing to do with the termination that locks the timeline for real, okay? And at that point, you cannot retroactively insert a later event into an earlier termination. And as I've said, which will be shown, after losing the original channel, Maggie created a new YouTube channel. And that new channel is separate, it's later in time, and it was governed by different events and about different circumstances. And it did, as she said, that did not cause her to be terminated. And the fact is that new channel is still up today. That's critical. It's still up. It has not been terminated, not been removed, or not been shut down, and it is still monetized. Monetization is currently active. AdSense is active. Income is being earned on that channel. So when she said her channel was destroyed, that channel is still up. Destroyed is her old one that has something to do with Dani Robertson, not her new one that's still up and monetized and it's in operation. So that cannot refer to the new channel because the new channel still exists. So now, where does Latesha actually enter into this whole equation? Latesha only comes into the story after the original channel was already terminated. I did write a song for Latesha, as I have written songs for even King Payne in the House. King Payne in the House for OKP. I wrote songs for Down the Rabbit Hole News. I write songs for people for their intro songs, or they can have a background song that just repeats the same lyrics over and over. Either way it goes, since I write songs, even my own music, I am a person that will say that I own anything I write. I don't care if it's only a small amount of lyrics, number of characters, whatever. Once I write a song or come up with the song, no matter how many lyrics is part of it, at that moment, I am the songwriter of that song. And as a songwriter of that song, I do have rights over the actual lyrics of the song. And if that song is actually played, I actually can strike it for my human authorship part of writing the song. Okay. And once lyrics are written, even if repetitive, they are copyrightable human expressions. And the fact is, the name of the name of Letitia's song is called "It's Layla Letitia," and her channel name is Layla Letitia. So that shows that the song was written and personalized for her own channel and her own channel brand. So the song in and of itself is her channel branding. So if someone plays it on their channel like Maggot, you're playing "It's Layla Letitia," you're playing her audio, her video that has her background music playing in the back of it. Okay. So with that being said, you're now playing her content, not only the song, but also her actual video content, which you're leaving out. That is not just about the music that's playing in the background. You're also playing her audio of her talking. Because you're not just playing the song by itself, you're playing her audio. First, one of you understand that you're actually playing her video of her talking, and her music is playing in the background. So it's a double whammy where you're playing her audio and her music at the same time. So if someone were to take this video right here, you hear me talking, this is my actual commentary and my actual content. This is a separate work of me talking. The background music you hear of is Dani Montana. That's my song. But now I own both things. I own the spoken portion of my speaking to you now, and I also own separately the music playing in the background, aka the song lyrics playing in the background. So if someone were to use this, I could strike that. I can follow good faith DMCA takedown for my content. And Maggie does the same thing to others who play her content. Okay. Secondly, two people can own a song. Someone can write a song for another person and transfer their rights. There are a lot of times where even Candy Brewer from Real Housewives, where she has been a songwriter for other people, where they actually might sing the song, but she wrote the song, and someone else might make the beat or the instrumental.
Like they're acting as if being prepared is not cool. What do you mean it's not cool to be prepared? I didn't read her thing. What do you mean you didn't read it? I'm suing you. You're having an exam. You know you're having an exam in January. This is not a trial exam. It is a real thing with 10K. Take it seriously. What is going on? What do you mean? I didn't read it. I'm like, what in the High School Musical is going on? Like, that's the only thing that keeps on going on in my head. I'm like, okay, that, like, looking like you're not studying or not doing what you need to do to prepare yourself can only be seen as cool in high school, right? Or middle school. I don't know. I was always one of those students that was always like, I don't understand. What do you mean? I have read your lawsuit to the chat, and I've shown why every single one of your point is stupid as fuck, which is why we're going in trial. Like what and the stupidity? You will go with the same. What and the stupidity? No, she's gonna say the same shit that she already said, and I do not understand.